Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! And it's been a hot minute since we played, so we're going to struggle to jump back into things. Nick, do you want to start off some player introductions? Then I'll do announcements and attempt a recap.
Sure.
And we'll dive in.
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Strathise Hairlock, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who is the Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I'm Zach. I play Zant, who is a human fighter ranger.
I'm Melissa. I play Mara, who is a human rogue swashbuckler.
So we premiere our episodes every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items as well as a custom wild magic table, so be aware of that as you're watching. Our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. And our character portraits, which you'll see on the info cards in the top right corner, were drawn by an artist named Carrie Peach, who goes by @CarrieDraws on Twitter. Other than that, you can check the video description for links and information about everything I just mentioned and more. And if you want other information about when we're playing, when we're skipping weeks, occasionally we post a funny thing, like we posted 2 funny things in our history of this game. You can follow us on Antiheroes.
More than that.
You can follow us at Antiheroes Anon. We still haven't posted that clip.
No.
That's the third funny thing.
Yeah, it will be. Other than that, we just hope you enjoy the show, share it with your friends, and come back to watch more. So, a recap, as much for our benefit since it's been a while as for yours. The Night Hag Mother Midnight, alternatively known as the Hag Countess Malagard, is making her presence known once more. In
First time ever.
In reaction to that, the party put together a plan to reach her in her lair on Marble, the 6th layer of the 9 Hells. They have gone to extreme lengths to secure papers of safe passage in Avernus and some of the other layers of the 9 Hells, as well as a Yugoloth navigator for their ship. Recently, they learned a bit about a sort of a legendary ghost ship known as the Sea Devil's Curse, and the treasures that it contained within its hull. And also that it had some connection to Mara's grandfather. So, before embarking on their trips in the Hells, they made a short detour to locate the Sea Devil's Curse, finding it lying in wait at the bottom of a vast expanse, a stretch of ocean in the southern half of the world. And they are now preparing, or well, at the time of this recap, they were preparing to board the vessel, but they have since done so, confronted the crew, as well as met the captain, the giant Captain Ire, and decided to help him by providing him with the last coin he needed to reunite the treasure of Fornyaut's fortune, granting him power over death itself and allowing him to revive his long-lost companion, the fire giant Helblindi. So, having that been completed, he pretty much turned over his treasure to you, and you guys were allowed to pilfer from the treasure in the hull of the ship. And then you turned your attention to the doors at the back of the bottom layer of the vessel, from which you could feel intense cold wafting out. And wrenched them open, finding yourself face to face with a group of devils guarding an infernal engine that allows the Sea Devil's Curse to hop between planes. Negotiations to get details on the contract. Went great, yeah. You got some details on the contract before the devils attacked, realizing that one of them had been influenced by Harmony's suggestion spell. And combat ensued. Things are not going well for the devils. One of them being banished, one of them being grappled by the ship itself, one of them prone and missing his spear of ice.
Also grappled
by
the ship.
However, the ice devil and leader of the bunch, Bazith, was just beginning to chant in Infernal when we left off last time. So that's where we're going to pick up as soon as I grab some battle music.
We waited 3 weeks to find out what this chanting is about.
Did all of that sound right? Does that all
Yeah.
ring a bell?
That all sounds really good, yeah.
Alright, good.
There was definitely stuff in there I had forgotten, so thank you for the recap.
Yep.
There we go. We have battle music. Okay, so I need to see one thing done. So it is that.
Sounds really good.
Basic. I need to check something on the stats log. Sorry, I'm keeping you waiting even longer.
He's chanting power word confetti.
It's a good stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
I think so.
Kind of too high level for what it does, though.
It's like 9th level.
Bezith's chanting continue. He
That's
finishes his chanting, and with the
Yeah.
last resounding note, a fresh blast of cold air fills the room, even affecting Thaddeus, despite
It
your.
wasn't a spell, right?
No, it wasn't a spell. Despite your resistance to the cold, it's like an innate ability of his. As he breathes out into the room, and another wall of ice begins to form.
Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm
You're
over
next to
there.
me.
Okay. I'm behind the wall. Okay.
So I'm just gonna.
Oh, it's backwards.
Yeah.
Still a wall of ice.
Yeah. It's upside down, yeah.
Yeah. Turn it over. No.
I forgot
Like, what
what
the
the
heck?
orientation was. Yeah.
There we go. And
Yeah, we were actually okay. Yeah, you're right. It is backwards.
Thaddeus, you're going to need to make a dexterity saving throw as a
Oh.
wall of ice
Right.
erupts in your space.
Okay.
Oh no.
10.
Oh no.
10. Okay. So you take 35 cold damage, which you resist, half down to 17.
Okay.
And then are pushed back away from the wall. Normally you'd be able to choose which side you want to go on, but you don't have a place to go at this
Yeah.
point. So, a wall of ice erupts in between the two of you, and you can see through the wall of ice. He just kind of grins at you.
Is that a new name for you?
No, same as last time.
Oh, is it the same one? I don't recognize it. Maybe because I'm seeing it from the other side.
It was
New
new last week.
perspectives.
What is long? No.
It was new last time.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, the old wall sticks around.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is just a second wall of ice now that forms in between the two of you.
Well,
Okay.
damn, you got that sword.
I'm on my way.
Whose turn is it?
It is then the Horned Devil's turn. That one is grappled.
I'm also now blocked from his sight, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Seems to me you should have printed more ice wall.
Yeah, I should have. I didn't. I thought the ice wall would go away.
Considering this is the thing that you were planning to do for 3 weeks.
See, I thought that the ice wall went away, but then I'm looking at it actually in the description now, and it doesn't go away. So
In the
I needed more than I thought.
Scripture.
I said description.
The holy text of ice
I heard
walls.
it. I heard. I'm looking at it in the scripture.
Is an ice devil again unholy then?
Ah, yes. As it's written in the scripture. Verse 17.
Am I the only one that heard that?
I thought, when you said that, I'm like, you did say that, didn't he?
It sounds like you said.
Okay, I think he's going. So the Horned Devil is grappled up there and doesn't like his chances breaking away from the ship, which is holding him with incredible strength. So instead, he hurls
Gross.
3. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I was going to say. 3 fireballs at Mara.
No!
The first one was only a 18 to hit. Sorry, it's less than that. 15.
This
Second one, 19.
hits.
Third one, natural 20.
Ooh.
You can you missile snare those projectiles or not?
I think we had this discussion last
I
time.
know,
they
I don't
have to
remember
be
if we did or
physical
not.
Yeah,
projectiles.
they've got to be physical. So from the first one, you take 14 points of fire damage, unless you want to lessen it.
The crit.
Save it for the crit. Save it
Yeah.
for the crit.
That's what I figured.
Should be 13 damage.
And and then 20 points of fire damage from the second one. That was the crit.
Okay, I'll have that one.
Down to 10. He is really neutralized up there. Then it's the Sea Devil's Curse's turn.
Yeah, get him. Eat him.
I didn't put the Sea Devil's Curse in this encounter. Gotta go find it.
I love
In the
the ship
meantime-
fighting for us.
Yeah, that's great. How many swings did it take to get to the center of the ice wall top last time?
I think you 2 hours.
2? Okay.
But I think that it might have been like a
didn't
week
roll well the
damage.
first
Yeah, you
time?
didn't roll well.
Okay.
Bezos would have stood up on
Some
his turn.
berries.
I forgot he's
Make
broken.
it berry flavored and start looking.
Oh, yeah.
Still do
Like
that
the
while
berries?
he's grappling.
Yeah.
Have
Popsicles.
Still grappling.
I saw.
have Biako get to work.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll make the ship. Basically, these pseudopods made of wood and metal come stretching up out of the back of the wall, and basically pummel into the Horned Devil and the Ice Devil. Would 2 of you make D20 rolls for me for the ship?
I'll do one.
So 16 on die.
That'll hit.
Mine's an 18. On
Okay.
die.
So both of them get pummeled, and you can roll 2d10, and I'll add some damage to that.
2d10 each.
Yep.
Okay.
One is for the Horned Devil, one is for the
5 and 5.
4 and 7, so 11.
Okay. And the Ice Devil also hits the same amount.
Giggling over there.
I'm laughing because you like 1 up in each roll.
2 on the first one.
So that's the Sea Devil's Curse.
You basically 1 up in each roll.
Then it's
I'm not
Mara's.
repetitive.
What would you like to do, Mara?
Okay, so I've got a.
I forgot what I meant to do with the Horned Devil. Do that next time.
No, it's okay.
I forgot what that is.
that's a-
is-
That is
Oh,
buddy.
that's the healing spear, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, it is.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then the blue one.
the blue one is
the engine.
the infernal engine,
Engine.
in the center of this. That
Okay.
is spitting out heat and sort of like melting the ice around it. In a-
So if you step in the healing spirit, it'll heal you.
If you pass through it.
Yeah,
on
if you
your
pass
turn.
through it, then I can heal you for 1d6.
Okay, so we've basically only got those 2 guys left.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to go around the other way to reach
Yeah.
this guy.
Mhm.
He's kind of a ways away.
But you can dash as a bonus.
Well, I'm trying to think if I want to cast fly right now
Mm.
because I can't do anything else. So
Can you?
The only other thing you can do.
Is it still available or have you used it?
I
don't
haven't
think
used
she's
it
used
yet.
No.
No.
she has used it today.
Oh, to get to the Sea Devil's Curse, huh?
Oh,
Well,
You
no,
could-
you rode in on Moonlight Sparkle, so
I
you, already-
did.
you do still have it.
but I did use it on Biako.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I was real
Okay.
fast. You can also throw your daggers at the Horned Devil if you want to do that. You can get range of that
Get
probably.
within range of the
Yeah.
Horned Devil and yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
What's your range on those?
They're 2 different ranges, right?
If you do the wind one, you don't need a bonus action to bring it
If
back.
it
Right.
hits.
Yeah. So this
We'll
is
do
in the
that
range,
one.
I think.
Let me get out my cards. I'm out of practice.
But I don't think you'll get sneak attack on him.
20
either.
feet.
No, not with a thrown weapon.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
How high is the Horned Devil?
Although he's grappled.
The Horned Devil is, I think,
The
about
restraint
15
gives you
feet up.
advantage.
Yeah.
He's about 15 feet up
If
and
she has
grappled
advantage,
to the
she
ship.
gets sneak attack.
She doesn't have advantage, so he's not restrained, he's just grappled.
Oh.
Yeah.
But is he technically in melee with another creature?
No.
Because of the
Oh,
Yeah,
is he?
I mean, technically.
Oh, then he
So
do
she'll
get
get
sneak
sneak
attack. Okay.
Just not advantage, but sneak attack, yes. If
You
you
get sneak
That's
attack.
all
All
we're
these-
trying to
all
figure
I
out.
these
have literally
angles.
everything that's on this ship now.
So technically
Yeah,
he is in melee with
Yeah,
another
that's
creature.
a good call. Oh, and that's a good roll.
Yeah.
So 30.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
He's like trying hard not to spit out his
He's
water.
like, misses.
And purple.
Ethan,
Yep.
did you want a beer or something?
I'm good. Okay, thank you, though.
Good roll.
Oh, that's above
Above average?
Yeah, I'd say so.
$43.
43.
There you go.
Yeah, don't give him food. He'll just have to spit it out.
I know. He's over there like.
Okay. Yeah, the dagger is thrown across the whole of the ship, bolstered by the magical wind that is conjured up behind it, stabs into its chest, and then is instantly whooshed back to you. Anything else for Mora?
So if I have any movement left,
Mm-hmm.
I think I can. I'm gonna go back around to try to find some cover.
Let's see. I think you came from here.
Yeah.
You can come back to here. That is all.
We're so slap happy right now.
In which case it is then Xanth's turn.
Alright. Xanth is running in, swords a-blazing, to the ice wall next to Thaddeus. I'm gonna get some swings in on it.
Are you gonna move the healing spirit?
Oh, did you step in the healing spirit on your way over?
No.
No, she didn't have.
Was it where Thaddeus is?
It was by Thaddeus.
But then Thaddeus got pushed back,
Did he?
Yeah.
so
Oh,
you might
okay.
want to move it.
Yeah, I can do that.
So you can get swings on it here. I think that's the closest you can get to that.
I have 40 feet of movement.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be then?
Oh, shoot. I don't have the cam. Oh, alright, there we go. Map cam's up.
I mean, I can step into the
It's
healing
been a
spirit.
while.
Okay.
Healing thing and then swing, I guess. So I'll heal myself. Wait, I'm not hurt. Never mind, I don't need to heal myself. Don't put me there. I'll use the 10 feet if I need to get to him, depending on how many swings it takes.
Okay.
To get to the center of this
Tootsie Pop.
ice ball pop. That is a 29 to hit the ice ball.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's an object.
Mm-hmm. So you do your maximum damage?
I do maximum damage plus 1d6 force damage. Is that also maximized, or do I have to roll?
I think you roll the 1d6 force.
Roll the 1d6? Okay. Is this wall a fiend?
No, no, it is not.
I got a 5 on the force. So the max damage, this says. Sorry, I need to read this again.
I'll say it's like 22.
It is 15 plus 5 is 22. Yep, 22
How
total.
did I remember that?
I don't know. How did you do
So 22 total. Yeah, you plunge your sword in and a huge crack begins to form, but the wall stands.
Oh, well, let's get another one. 2 legs. 2. And that is like 31.
Yep.
Okay. And then the force damage is 20 this time. Or the total damage is 20 this time.
Okay. The wall shatters, and in its place, a cold mist hangs.
So is that this whole thing?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's still a cold mist there, so.
Cold
You
mist.
might as well put that back up
Oh yeah.
in the back.
Good call.
Dang it.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Easy come, easy go.
Dang it. What a bad idea that was. So. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go in and swing at him, I guess. I'll step into this cold mist.
Alright.
And I might step out, depending on how much it hurts. But we'll see.
Okay. You step in and you can feel the cold creeping in, but you don't have to do anything just yet.
Okay, well, I'm gonna attack him. He's not prone anymore, correct?
No, he's not.
Okay. Oh, that's not very good. That is a 20 to hit.
Basic. That is a hit.
Okay.
Woohoo!
And okay, I don't need to do that. All right. I will roll for damage now. No, 1d8 or my d8. Okay, 1d8, 1d6. That is below average. 6 plus 7, 13.
Any magic in there?
It's all magic.
Yeah.
Your sword slashes into him, and it's almost as if like little shards of ice fall off of his body as
And I guess
you cleave into
You
him.
You had to go in and then you can come out to
Yeah,
be
I'll-
exactly where you are.
Yeah, I can step out, I guess.
Okay. When you leave the mist, you need to make a
Oh,
Constitution save.
that's what it is. Oh, I see. Okay.
But you have my aura here.
Alright. These ones didn't roll.
If you want to give me a minute to gripe, my least favorite thing about D&D 5th edition is how so many things change based on like whether you enter a space or
Yeah.
leave a space, or if my least favorite thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, go
Sure.
on.
Okay, so what's your RF5?
Yeah, 5.
So 24.
Okay, that's a pass. So you take only 8 points of cold damage as you leave.
He doesn't
okay.
turn into a gorilla in the mist.
So I guess I'll step. Well, and then I'll use my bonus action to move the healing spirit in Thaddeus's square.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. And that'll be it for me. If I move it through myself, does that give me the healing?
Oh, you have to move through it.
Yeah, that's the way
I
it
still
works.
have a little movement, so I guess.
No, you
You
used it
don't
all
know
up.
'cause
You move 5
Oh,
feet
5
in,
and 5 and
then
out.
5
Yeah,
out.
okay, never mind. That's okay. I don't need
These
that.
grows.
Then it is
healing
Pyakko, so keep
spirit.
going back.
All right, Pyakko is going to put the weapon down and do a running pounce at Bazaar, if he can reach that far.
What's his speed?
I believe it's 50. Oh, check.
I don't know if
His
you can make it
movement
that far.
speed is 50.
Does he have space?
He
to
has
go
climbing
He
in?
doesn't really have space to go in because there's
Or
only.
we have to go around the other
Can he
way.
climb up the wall? He has a climb
Well,
speed.
That
So.
he could do.
If you ended your turn here, he would have space, I think. Yeah,
Sure.
you could do that.
Okay.
And he'd enter the healing spirit. No, he wouldn't. It's all in space.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah, he'll do that. And he will make an attack. That is not very good. Okay. That is 14 to hit.
14 does not hit, so his claws rake ineffectively against the hard ice exterior of the
Well,
cell.
he tried.
Perfect.
And that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to peek out from the ice wall.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do I have line of sight with Bazaar?
Oh yeah, you got to
Yeah,
clear
Can
sight.
I land a hit without them getting in the way?
Depends what you're gonna land a hit with.
A firebolt.
Oh. Yeah, you could. I'm just gonna give him like +2 to his AC for a little bit of cover because there's so many people in the way.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna throw a firebolt at him. I think.
Okay.
Ooh, this is a hard decision. Which dice do I use? Okay.
Probably a d20. If you were to ask me.
Oh, not that one.
Tides of Chaos, bitches.
Okay.
Jail that one.
Yeah, that one's going in jail.
Ooh,
Bye.
finally, yeah. See you later. Sucker. It's like I rolled 10.
Alright, that's better. That's 23.
Oh yeah, that hits.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The fireball
That rope, man.
flashes against
Yeah,
his
that's really
icy exterior, and as it does, it just hisses, and he just looks at you and goes, pointless.
I ignore resistance.
It is immunity.
I can spend HP to ignore immunity.
Alright, you want to do it?
Yeah!
Alright, you spend 1 HP,
Because
because it's a cantrip.
it's a cantrip, bitches.
So it's now resistant.
So wait, so
and
he
full
said
damage
last
now.
time.
He said what?
Pointless. But then,
Pointless?
like, as
So
he
I
says
go-
that,
I go, I'm sorry, what did you say?
yeah, as he says that, like, the remnants of the fire turn black, and he goes, ah! Ah! And just begins to scream.
And guess what? It's 40-10 because we're level 18.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you'll spend the 1 hit point to do that.
Yeah.
She spent HP last time to make it a hellfire.
This is good this
So
time.
you really want to get.
Yeah, she hit the.
Well,
that's
this
what-
means
that's
it's
what
turning
that-
into Hellfire too.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
To ignore the
Resistance.
resistance.
Okay.
Or the
You
immunity.
gotta explain.
And then the resistance
Here.
is then immunity, right?
Yeah.
Or then
Okay,
nothing.
but I can
Empower it.
empower it and reroll all of them. Yeah, why the hell not? I'm already spending shit. I'm going to do empowered spell and reroll damage.
This guy's getting every single reroll you
Because I
have.
can reroll up to 5, so I'm gonna reroll all of
Tides
them.
of Chaos, Hellfire, Empowered
Woo!
Spell.
Much better. And this is actually a 2.
Yeah.
So let's see, that would be 12, 14, 16 fire damage.
Okay. Wow, okay, that's very good. Anything else from Harmony? You want to duck back behind cover, I assume?
Yes.
And that was your
I'm
round.
gonna stick out my tongue at him first, and then I don't want to go all the way back,
Oh,
just
okay.
1 square back.
Okay.
And that was
So-
your third round concentrating on banishment.
Was that the third or my second? I only had one
Maybe it
mark
was third.
here, but okay. I might have missed one.
A lot happening.
Yeah.
Thaddeus.
Alright, Dice isn't going to deal with the stupid cold ice wall. He's going to Misty Step behind Basis.
I get to heal you though.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
4.
4.
Okay, 4. 4. And says one more time, annul the contract.
That's right.
This time, Bazith hisses back at you through the steam that is still rising off of his body from the fire bolt. He just says, "That would be pointless, wouldn't it?"
Do I have to roll a concentration check because I took 1 HP?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Yep.
Oh no.
It's okay. It'll work.
DC is 10. You don't have Tides of Chaos, though.
I don't. That's okay. I have a +8. I'm gonna give you back these.
Thank you.
I rolled an 8, bitch. So
Alright.
16.
Yeah, so you maintain concentration.
Roll a 1. Asshole.
I mean, if you rolled a 2, you'd still pass.
I know.
So with that, Thaddeus did, let's see.
Did you roll to hit and I missed it?
I did. It was a pretty high number.
Okay, yep,
It was like a 25 or something.
yep, that'll do it.
Let's see, that's
I'm gonna take it tomorrow.
25,
I don't. No, he did roll, and then I took
Yeah.
those dice out. So
I know.
25 radiant and
Okay.
some cold that he's immune to.
Yes.
Nice.
And
that
that is
other
just, yeah, that is
flash
just,
of radiance in his face, and that, like, he's, like, sizzling from that. Like,
Yeah.
there's smoke rising up of him.
repeats the order.
Do it.
Okay. Alright, that's a,
Daddy, I
28.
don't think it's in his power to annul the contract. I yell from behind the ice wall.
we have to try.
I think he just likes saying it.
It's cathartic.
Catchphrase.
That's 24 radiant damage.
Okay. Ooh, he's getting up there in damage. Anything else from Thaddeus?
No, it's a bonus action, my attack. I don't want to move. So yeah, I'm good.
Okay. It is his turn. And I gotta see something here. Nope. So he will do the other thing that he can do. in a-
Annul the contract.
He actually, he can't. He said that he can't.
I don't think he can. I think he really means it.
He begins another infernal chant.
Not a spell.
Not a spell. But this one I need to roll percentile, right? See if it works.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's something except that one.
Ooh, it does work.
Oh boy.
Where can this thing appear?
Next to Mara, of course.
No, next to Harmony, right behind Harmony.
Oh boy.
Basically from some of the ice that had like leaked out into the room. Yes, like ice had begun to like creep out across the floor of the room that you're standing in, and from the ice behind you rises up a shape, and it takes the exact form of the ice devil Bazaar, and however it doesn't have a spear. And let me see.
Neither of them do. They're like
Yep.
twinsies.
Doesn't say whether it gets to act on this
Is
turn.
this one very flavored too?
So
Oh,
I'm
well,
gonna
it can
say
be.
It does. So it begins to bite and claw at you.
Cool.
So here comes one bite and 2 claws. Nope. 1 bite, 1 claw, 1 tail. All right, bite, claw, tail. The bite is 15 to hit.
Miss.
The claw
Snapper.
is 28 to hit,
Okay.
and the tail is 15 to hit.
Miss.
So only the claw.
Cool,
Nice
I don't have to-
AC.
I don't even have to burn a shield.
You take 10 slashing
Are you a fighter?
damage and 10 cold damage for a total of 20.
Whoa. Does that mean that AC is
DC still 10.
DC is
DC is 10. Yep.
10? What is D&D?
I don't know.
It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
that was a 17 on die. So.
Okay. Then the Horn
Oof,
Devil,
that hurt.
immediately after Bazith.
Oh, can I? Never mind. I'm gonna save my reaction. I was gonna Hellish Rebuke, but it's like fire, so it's
Did
probably
you
not
not
gonna do anything
Step
anyway.
back behind cover again?
I
or-
did.
Oh, you did.
I stepped just 5 feet instead of 15 feet, so I'm behind the wall, but just like behind the edge, so I can still see what's going on.
If it's an ice sculpture, fire action would be really good.
Okay, shit. I'll do Hellish Rebuke,
Okay.
which is level 2. Hellish Rebuke, which is 2d10, no, 3d10 fire damage. Ignore resistance. That one's definitely cocked, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like around the edge.
This
It's
was a long
what
Yes.
kind of save? Dexterity?
Yes.
It
Yeah, I got the same
fails.
thing I was gonna get.
However, it just kind of the fire licks off of the cold and it is immune.
Sorry.
So I'll spend an HP.
Alright.
And it's
Well, what level spell is Hellish Rebuke?
second level,
Okay, so it's 2 HP.
2 HP.
Take that.
Spicy.
Does that mean spicy?
Man.
Well, take 19 points of hellfire damage.
Yeah,
Bitch.
it doesn't speak. It just kind of like sizzles and like bits of it melt off. But you said 16 or 18?
19.
19. And I rolled an 18 on die for my con check, so
Very good.
bitch.
You're also wild magic.
Oh yeah. Wait, does
Oh.
what? No, it's
Yeah.
a racial feature.
Oh,
it's
oh,
not
gotcha,
a
gotcha.
spell.
But
But that's gonna go off next turn. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I heard Rachel.
Rachel feature.
And I'm like, who's Rachel?
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Melissa's dead.
Yeah.
Well,
Mara's down. Incapacitated. Here, you give her the incapacitated.
the Horned Devil.
Sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It's been a hot
I'm
minute.
thinking about what I want to do anyways. How many people are?
I think everyone except Yako is in sight, except or maybe Harmony is not.
No, Harmony's definitely not. Because she's behind the wall.
Samantha?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is still throw fireballs at Mara. So that's what Horned Devil's gonna do. 3 fireballs. There's a 21. There's a 22,
Hits.
and there's a 19.
Hits.
Ooh.
All right. So you can have one of them, but they are each going to do 14 fire damage.
Each
So-
one?
So you can hack one of them with uncanny
14,
damage.
28, plus 7, 35. Right?
That's a lot. We need to quit fooling around, y'all.
Then the Sea Devil's Curse. So 2 more of you, roll some d20s.
Yeah.
Let us do it this
Yeah,
time! Yay!
Guys, I'm down to 19.
Oof.
Ooh, maybe you shouldn't have let me do it. That's a 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do you want? We'll make that one against the Horned Devil.
Already on. No, alright.
Roll for the Sea Devil's Curse.
The one against the Horned Devil, it manages to get its like wing up and block the attack.
Pretty good.
Do we add anything to
No,
it?
just tell
Tell them what
13.
it is.
That does hit. So, Melissa, would you roll me 2d10? This is the one that is striking Bazar. It just is pummeling into his back.
I don't know how you
Excuse me. I rolled an 8 and a 9 last time.
12.
12, okay.
It's just my d20s that are
Uh,
shit. I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Not you though.
You though. We have to have a talk. After
Mara,
that.
it's your turn.
I think it's whip time, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna get closer to that horn devil guy.
Can get up to bed here.
Shoot.
Zant shouts out, remember your training.
It's got a reach of 10 feet.
Oh, he's 15, right? Like jumps.
Yeah, you could leap up and smack him with the whip if you want to.
Well, I kind of wanted
Castlevania.
Like Castlevania. That's what I was just gonna say.
wrap
Simon
it around
Belmont.
his
You wanna,
leg
like-
and turn it and pull him down.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you can try that.
He's grappled.
You have to
though,
like leap up
right?
and whip, and then if you want to pull him down, you can try.
Let go.
Okay.
Do we want him next to us?
Well, she can't attack him really unless.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
All right. Well, let's see what happens.
Gosh, where is it? That's a plus 12. So that's a 23.
Yes. So that hits, and you can do your damage, and then we'll figure out the.
She get sneak attack on me?
Yeah.
Kayla, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus,
He definitely wasn't expecting that. She just rolls up and she's like, oh, she got a whip?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's not bad.
does it matter if it's lightning?
I don't think he has any resistances to lightning.
Okay. so that was
Let's see. Nope. Lightning is good.
37 plus 6 is 42.
43.
43.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the whip like lashes onto him, and you can see that it like probably breaks his leg, and then the lightning just kind of burns the skin there.
I feel like a freezer here.
Yeah, geez.
Another contract.
Now I need
I'm
you
a
to
real
make
whippersnapper.
an athletics check to try and pull him down. I don't know whether to contest you with the ship or with him. I think with
Well,
the
I was saying the ship's our ally, so you think it would cooperate with us.
true. Roll like an insight check for the ship to see if it cooperates.
Well, I have a plus 4 to athletics, so I'm 14.
So she doesn't have to roll, basically.
That's what I'm hearing.
Unfortunately, you do have to roll against the ship because
Okay.
the ship does not
Go for it.
realize your intent quite yet.
18.
Wait.
No, it's 14.
What?
Show the
She's
floor.
a plus 4.
Either way, you're trying to beat
Wait.
a
Are you
20.
proficient in athletics?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 10.
So it's a 10 plus
So it's a
14. So
Which is what I said.
Oh.
Okay.
10
14.
plus 14? 14 total? Okay. Unfortunately,
Wait. No, it's not 14 total.
It's
Yeah.
athletics, which is a plus
Wait.
4?
You have plus 14 to athletics.
Plus
Wait,
so it's a
14.
10.
What?
A 10,
10
plus.
plus 14, so
Okay,
it's
so it's
24.
24.
You guys are confusing me. When I roll bad, I get a 10, no matter what.
Yes,
Yes.
so
I'm
it's 10
proficient.
plus 14.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I heard you say plus 4.
Okay.
yes. The ship holds on,
So she doesn't.
but as you grapple the whip onto there, like you're dangling
Does he
from
take
the whip
stretching
basically,
damage?
and then you just give a mighty yank with all of your weight, tumbling back onto the floor yourself, but bringing the devil down with you as the ship
Does he
loses its
take
grip.
fall damage?
He will take a d6. We'll give him a dexterity saving throw since it's only a few feet. Natural 20.
Number
So
so
he-
low.
one falling damage.
A light cushion. There's like a bed of
like
feathers
he
below
stubs
him
his
or
toe.
something. He
He just lands a little heavy on that leg that she just
Yeah.
broke, basically.
Oh.
But he's then on the ground with you, Mara.
Okay, can I do offhand?
Sure.
Yeah.
With the dagger. It's not going to do much, but still something.
with your auxiliary whip.
I know, it's unusual.
I know, right?
That is a 14.
Okay. 14 does not quite hit him.
Oh well,
Zane.
it's worth a try.
All right. How's Bazaar looking?
Not great. Like pieces of ice are falling off of him. He's starting to like lose his form a little bit.
I feel like if we take him out, maybe his ice buddy will die too. So I'll
Ice, buddy.
I guess I'll step in again into the ice wall
Okay.
and
We are
Do some
all
attacks.
just really in a weird mood today.
that's a crit.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's not another 20 though.
You don't lop off one of his limbs.
Not this time.
It'll happen eventually.
But he does take 14 plus these ones. 10, 24 plus 11. 35 damage.
Okay, he's
I
hanging
believe
on.
14. Yeah, that's right.
Did you double the dice damage?
I did not. Oh,
Because it was a crit.
you're right. So I said 35 plus another 11. So 46.
That is exactly what you needed to kill.
So I do lop off a body part, in fact.
So, how do you want to kill this?
Oh, just right in half.
Right in half?
Yeah,
Just
right,
like
right
down
in
the
his,
center?
right in his middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's disconcerting because as the top half of the body slides off of the bottom half and the legs collapse, the body that is laying on the floor looking up at you and Thaddeus is still alive for a brief moment. And it just, like choking through basically the ichor that is rising up in its throat, it just says, I'll tell you what, you've actually done me a favor here today. So when you come to collect your contract, maybe I won't, maybe I won't enslave your souls forever, and instead I'll just kill you.
And then I'll slice off his mandibles.
And then with that final slice, the creature dies.
Does his ice buddy also die? And the ice
Yes,
wall?
his ice friend in the back by Harmony
Two
just
for one.
basically crumbles into
Right.
like fine
Two
snowy
trophies.
powder.
Good.
Phew. And let me see about the ice walls.
Okay. And oh, and now that we have another
the ice walls also crumble.
great, now that we have another friend on the ground, I'm going to use my movement to run over to the Horn Devil and make 2 more attacks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can get there.
Oh yeah, I can. And that is a.
Did you see what I did with my
You
whip?
got a whip, and I got a 28 to hit.
I whipped him into shape
Hits.
for you.
Okay. First attack is 10, 17 plus 4 is 21. How's he looking?
He's hanging in there.
Next
He
attack.
has slashes and burns and all kinds of damage. But
That's a 18 to hit. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. 18.
18 does hit.
Okay, and then I'll
Just.
put on a goading attack on this one.
Okay.
And he has to make a Wisdom saving throw of DC 20.
Oh, he just hits 20.
Dang.
13 plus 7.
And that is alright. 15 plus 11. 26.
He's hanging in there.
Okay.
Yako.
That's what I got. Yako is gonna do a pouncing attack on him.
He get HP?
Yep.
He doesn't need HP.
You can get it, I guess. That's pretty good. He has to make a strength saving throw. A DC 12 strength saving throw if you're knocked prone.
Byako hit.
He got a. I rolled 16 and
Do
it's
we have to
27.
There you go.
So
Isn't he already prone?
No.
Strength saving
He
throw.
was grappled. Now he's
23.
not grappled.
okay, well he doesn't. He doesn't.
Landed on his leg, honey. I don't think he fell prone because he made a stand.
So I do a 1d6, and that is plus 9, so 15. No, 14. No, 15. 15 damage.
Okay. And Byako does do magical damage?
He does.
How does Byako want to kill this guy?
I think seeing how he likes to hurl fireballs, he like maybe claws off one of his arms and like bites off and tears the other one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know, maybe that's enough, or maybe as he like bites through his chest or something.
Yeah. Byako just kind of leaps on this devil and just begins like pulling off limbs and things like that.
Yeah,
And
Yaka's merciless.
as he's throwing the limbs aside, they're dissolving into this black goo on the floor.
Yeah.
And the only sound left in the room after that point is the sound of crackling flames emitting from the planar engine.
How long does your healing spirit last?
It lasts. Let's check. Why, you want to sit in it for a little
Yep.
bit?
I
Okay.
wrote black glue instead of black goo.
Um,
Where's that?
No,
Black blue.
we finally found a use for black blue.
Yeah.
Healing spirit lasts 1 minute, so
Cool.
that's.
So
10
we
heal-
have 7 more
Yeah,
rounds.
so 7 more
I don't
heals.
know when you cast it.
But I mean, I guess technically I could like have it like circle around and heal anybody.
But yeah, I would like to go
movement.
sit in the healing spirit
Yeah.
for a while.
Me too.
How would you rule that, Ethan? Because I could like move it around within a turn and like hit
Yeah.
everybody, but like that's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, it is what the spell is, though.
We'd have
So,
to like
Yeah.
run through it each turn, like it's a sprinkler.
It's like
We can be dignified and walk through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
think
That's
that-
not fun.
I
Each
think
of,
I think
each
it
of
was
you who wants to
flip.
get healing can just basically roll. What is it? A d6 per turn?
7d6 then.
Yeah,
Okay.
7d6.
Let's call it 7, yeah. 'cause we were on
All
round
of us
3.
get 2.
Yeah.
It's a little silly, but it's the way the spell works.
It's a good spell.
76. Okay, let's see. 22 for me.
That's not what I meant.
23 for me.
Well, I took a lot of damage, so I
Yeah,
need to
22.
Are you being sarcastic?
I am. I
Yes.
took 8. Diaco also took 8.
I was down to a third of my health.
I was down to 19.
See, Ethan makes these fights that target and kill me, or not at all. So, I was fighting things with hammers.
locked
So
behind
I was
ice
worried
walls for a
about
lot of the time.
it. Yeah, that too. He's like, keep me out.
And I'm just gonna be focusing on keeping that banishment going for the rest of the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, if you took the healing, that is the full minute.
Mhm.
So,
So he should stay banished.
And the room is just filled with the soft blue light of the
I'll be taking the next.
light blue flickering flames emitting from this foul black iron machine in the center of the room.
And this machine is what makes the ship jump, right?
Trophies.
Do we need it?
No, we've got a ship that we can sail on the sticks already. This one's pretty big.
Yeah. We
Well,
Yeah, so do you
yeah.
want
We need
to
to tell
find
the
my
crew.
grandfather and let them know what's going
We
on?
won't be able to break the contract until we actually go to Stygia. It's in Stygia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we'll put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, what
Okay.
would you like to do now?
Let's go find your grandfather then. We'll
You
fill
can
him
call
in.
Captain Iyer as well. He probably knows.
And I can,
What voice did I do for? Oh, I remember. Yeah, Anton was actually before you started the fight. Anton was out in the treasure room. So when you turn around to go look for Anton, he's actually like peering through the door, looking at you guys, and he just goes, "That was absolutely amazing! It's no
Why, thank
wonder that the group of you managed to board this ship and throw the crew into disarray and barter with the captain." And he looks at Mara and he's just beaming.
Did you see my whip, Grandpa?
That was incredible! I can't believe how much you've grown.
That was really
and
fun.
He just comes over and he's a little bit shorter than you. And he just kind of like pats you on the back and says, "Well done, well done."
Thanks, Grandpa. How about a sea shanty for old time's sake?
Yeah, and like he's jovial, so he just
Yeah, Ethan.
bursts into song. I don't have a sea shanty.
Wait, you're not just gonna improvise one for us?
No. But he kind of like bursts into song. It's one that you remember, so it instantly brings back memories of being on the Bon Natali. And as he's singing it, the little because you remember he has like a anglerfish lantern that just kind of like sways like a metronome in front of his face in
Great.
time as he sings his songs.
And we're all being lulled.
And then the celebratory song finishes, and he says, "Well, so what now? You mentioned that the ship is yours. The captain gave it over."
Yeah. But we don't really have a need for it right now. We just, we might use the treasure, a little bit of the treasure, but other than that, we don't really already have a ship.
So we own the ship, but you guys are still the crew.
Yeah.
And I think you're still bound by contract to be the crew on this ship.
he looks confused. He goes, yeah, maybe. I'm not really sure.
We still have a ways to go before we can break that part of it.
Well, all right then. I'll be here waiting when you do.
So we'll leave the ship in your hands.
Okay,
And can you guard the majority of the treasure for us?
of course. Yeah, me and the other sailors will be more than happy to fulfill that duty, I'm sure.
We took enough money to pay for the papers, right?
We did
I believe you were able to take
25,000.
of the total 100.
Yeah.
So remember that you've got 75,000 in the bank of Sea Devil's Curse.
I know. I was already looking at my belt buckle, wondering if we could spend it.
Anton basically just says that he'll arrange for the ship to basically go back down to the bottom of the ocean and just be waiting for you.
Actually, I don't know if we want it because if we need to draw on the money, we can't.
We can send a message to them and they can bring it
Oh,
out.
okay, that makes sense. All right, that's cool. Yeah, all right,
It's not a problem.
I'm okay with that.
Especially now that, well, I mean, Mara would be able to use the review anyway. But
Sure.
should be fine.
Does Bianca?
The only problem is I don't actually know how to do that, so the captain will have to arrange for that.
Yeah, we might want to talk to the captain and let him know what our plans are too.
Yeah, we should.
And that he's still expected to be the captain until further notice.
Sure.
Anton's just giving the thumbs up and a big smile.
All right.
Can we have leave?
Captain Iyer? No, he's still upstairs with his
Yeah.
newly,
Just
Okay.
expected them
newly
to
revived.
suddenly just
I mean,
kind
we're in the middle of the ocean. Where are they gonna go?
of leave.
Although I guess
He
he's a
did
ghost,
say
so
he
he can go
didn't-
anywhere.
Yeah.
He said he didn't need the ship anymore, so he hinted at leaving.
I guess that's
But,
why I got that impression.
Yeah, maybe he can pass the, orders on how to do it. But he said the ship was connected to him though, so I'm a little.
The ship is connected to him, and it's such a big ship.
Yeah.
I feel like we might ask him to be the captain for a little longer, at least, right?
Okay.
Or
You're
least
good
it-
at talking. You can talk
Sure.
into that.
I'll talk to him.
So you go back
We kinda
up
hit it off
to
a
the
little.
captain's quarters, and
Yeah.
as soon as you reach the second floor, there's like a crowd of sailors with all of their like fish-like mutations, sort of basically just crowded at the stairwell, trying to crane their necks and see what's going on, because none of them were ever allowed down in the treasure hold before.
And they're still not.
Yeah, Anton basically comes up and like starts taking control. He's like, there's nothing to see here. Back up, everyone. Come on. It's like starts pushing them away. And you make your way back up to the captain's quarters, and the doors are still closed. There, you could knock or throw them open. It's up to you.
I don't think I'm gonna throw them open. I'm gonna knock. Loudly but politely?
You hear a deep voice from within say, "Come in."
Alright, I'll push the door open.
And as you open up the door, it's still the same dimly lit room that is basically furnished entirely by this massive stone coffin and almost nothing else. But sort of sitting on top of the coffin and flexing his hands and stretching his legs and things like that is the fully reformed fire giant. That you'd previously seen asleep in the coffin. But there's no sign of Captain Iyer. And as you enter the room, the fire giant turns to you and says, so you've returned. Excellent.
Am I speaking to Help Lindley or Iyer here?
And there's a little bit of a look of surprise and says, yes, of course. And out from the chest of, or I guess suppose the head, almost as if it were overlaid before, out from the head of Helblindi pops the ghostly upper torso of Captain Iyer, and he says, I saw it fit since my partner was going to be resting for some time to make myself at home if we are going to be departing this vessel per your request.
I actually had a secondary request. If you wouldn't mind staying,
And like slips back into the body.
if you wouldn't mind staying a bit longer, we dispatched the 2 devils below, but dealing with the contracts is going to take some more doing. And until that's done, until we can free the crew from the clutches of the ship, we ask that you would remain as captain until then.
He considers it and says, after all the time I've spent on this ship, searching for the company of the one I had lost, I had hoped to make a fresh start. However, you have done me a great service. And he seems to think about it for a second. Would you make a persuasion check?
Plus 11?
Why do I roll so bad all the time? 13.
Can I Tides of Chaos that?
You
Or
don't
not
have
Tides of Chaos.
Yeah, you can.
Then Luck is
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean.
sure.
Not Tides of Chaos. What am I talking about?
Give him
Then Luck
advantage.
is 2.
So good.
I wish I could.
You
No.
get advantage.
I could bend Luck. I can add a little D4 on the top of that. 3.
3, so 16 total?
Yeah. I says we're not asking for forever, and we're on our way to the hills right now to deal with this.
He says, fine, but on a few conditions. I can't sit around here waiting for you forever. So if you're not back within, let's say, a month, I will leave. Secondly, now that my partner is back among the ranks of the living, albeit in a slumber as he is, I will not be able to submerge the vessel, as I had previously been capable of doing. As long as you are fine with me remaining above the surface, I can try to stay out of the way of other vessels.
It's gonna have to do, I guess.
Do they not go to a different plane?
Well, Thaddeus says it's a reasonable request on the face of it. Let me see if I can make an arrangement for times that may be necessary to submerge.
He gives you a curt nod and says, understood. Come back to me when you have worked out your arrangement.
I'm gonna go see if I can convince the mermaid
Oh!
to stick around here and
Okay.
breathe water on Helblindi when it's necessary to submerge.
Yeah, you go back up on the deck and roll a perception check. I guess you could get help from someone.
Yeah,
if
is
you
she
want.
still here?
Yeah.
I thought we told her. Oh yeah, we told her to go back in the water and stick around. But
Yeah, she's around. Perception is 15.
Yeah. Quite a ways off, but you just catch the glint of like a scaled tail hop up out of the water and then dive back down a couple times, as if she's playing off in the distance with, and then you catch a slight glimpse of her colorful octopus companion as well.
Wave her over. Need to talk to you.
And yeah, so she begins to swim over this direction, and that, but from it's still like 100-foot drop between the deck and the water.
Mhm.
So from way down there, she shouts back up, "Yes, what is it? What can I do for you? Did things work out?
Almost. Just need a favor from you.
Okay, what is it?
Can you stick around the ship for about a month or so and help whenever it needs to submerge? There's now a living person on board who will need that water breathing.
I can build you another cool tank.
She begins to speak with her octopus friend. Like you can see her conversing with the octopus. And
If you need it, we can make it worth your while.
she eventually, after conferring with her octopus friend, shouts back up, I don't mean to be rude, but what do you mean make it worth my while? I mean, what is it?
Anything
I'm
you
just
want?
curious.
Anything you want in response? A favor? A payment?
Oh, well,
Something shiny.
money and shiny things don't really do much good for me, but I suppose I could stick around if you'd be willing to. Well,
Yes.
I don't know. It would be my friend and regale me of tales of the places you travel every now and again.
You can do that. Sure. It's a deal.
she confers with the octopus again and then says, "Okay, yes, I think we could do that."
Great.
All right.
Should
Yeah.
I fabricate her a tank then on the
I
deck
don't
of
think
the
she'd
ship?
need it, right?
Or is she just gonna
She
hang
doesn't
out?
technically need it, but she will be more comfortable.
Well, I mean, could you just cast it from the sea level up to the
I think
person?
so.
Or
That's
while they're
true.
they like submerge
Yeah.
down to the deck, the top deck, and then she casts it, and then they
That's
roll
true.
away.
What's this mermaid's name again?
Delphine.
Delphine.
Okay. So we'll go back to Ire and tell him there's a friendly mermaid who's agreed to stay nearby and cast Breathe Water and help Lindy anytime that it's required to be submerged. The spell lasts 8 hours. Should be plenty of time.
Ire, through help Lindy's body, nods and says, "Yes, that would seem to be acceptable. There is one other thing I would ask of you. Should a month pass and our bargain is fulfilled and you have not returned, what do you know of the location and state of my kin at this point in time?"
There are giants who still live in the world. We've met many of them. They've taken refuge in the shell of a creature named Genbu.
A giant turtle.
One of the like red-haired eyebrows goes up.
Actually, it's the turtle that brought you up from the base of the ocean.
Ah, I had wondered what the great rumbling was
Mhm.
caused by. That makes sense.
We also.
Then it is near
participated
near at hand. Could you summon it for me to speak with it,
I can't, but
perhaps?
it looks at.
Everyone looks pointedly
I
at Mara.
know. Okay. If you want me to.
Yeah. So you like open up that attempt to meditate and contact them.
Namaste.
Roll your wisdom check.
You're still good at wisdom, right?
So good.
You don't even need to roll.
15.
15? I think that's good enough. So, sitting on
Wait, which?
the deck of the Sea Devil's Curse, you find a moment of focus, apart from everyone else. You manage to tune out the staring eyes of your grandfather who hasn't taken his eyes off of you, and reach out your mind, and it connects with
The one
the
before.
massive consciousness that is Genbu.
What was the score?
What did I roll?
I
A
don't know.
7.
It's 7.
So it's only a 9.
Oh,
I keep looking at here when I speak.
in that case,
Wait, let me bend luck on her.
okay. It's a roller coaster.
Sorry. Sorry, my bad.
It's a 10.
Okay. With the proximity that Genbu is in right now, I think that's a success. However,
Okay.
it's a little bit limited, so you only have like 15 words that you feel like you could convey.
Okay. So I'll relay that information to the captain and say, what do you want me to know?
Could you bring it here for me to speak with it?
Okay, I'll ask if he's available. Yo, Gambu! Can you come up to the ship?
And the response you get back, though, it's kind of like muffled and silenced, as if the the connection is only a weak spiritual connection between the two of you for the moment. And he just says, "I mean, if you want me to, man." And then the water begins to boil
That just
and
braces
bubble
himself.
again. And Genbu's shell first begins to emerge, almost like a mile off. But then by the time that most of the shell has emerged, it is like the edges of the shell are pretty darn close to where the boat is. And then finally, for the first time ever, the head of this turtle begins to emerge out of the water, and it is proportionate to the shell and incredibly massive. And basically just this one green eye rises up right next to the deck of the ship, and stares at the group of you on the deck. And Captain Ire, in Hellblindy's body, kind of strides out and says, "Great turtle, I understand you carry my kin within. your shell, and I would wish to join with them in a month's time when the 4 of these brave adventurers return to me and release me of my charge of this vessel. And he kind of gives a very low bow and says, would you permit me to enter your great shell? And Gembu's eye just blinks slowly. And Mara, you feel this connection forged with you. The Gembu just sort of pushes that spiritual connection towards you, and it's just like kind of buffets you and almost overwhelms. And the message that you hear from Genbu sort of over that spiritual connection is, yeah, I mean, whatever, dude, it's not really a big deal, man. Just have these guys call me. Man.
Thanks, Genbu. You're the best.
Yeah, and then just the connection kind of fades away again.
So, does the ship get in there?
You just bounce, maybe? Like how we entered,
I
right?
remember we went.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
went.
I can't remember.
You
how
guys
we
entered through basically above one of the flippers and beneath the shell.
Oh, okay, yeah. So same thing, probably. It's probably
Okay.
big enough.
I mean, if the other giants made it in there, he should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Alright,
about as safe as
then-
you can get it.
Satisfied with that answer, Captain Iyer gives another extremely low bow and says, "Thank you, great turtle. You will be doing me a great service by reuniting me with my kind."
Actually, would it not be a better place for the Sea Devil's Curse just to dock inside of Gembu right now?
The Sea Devil's Curse will not fit in the openings
Oh,
that you
okay.
sailed through.
Okay, never mind then.
Then with that, Captain Iyer turns to the group of you and says, "Then I think our business is complete." And Gembu's big eye just blinks again, and you feel Gembu's presence in your head and say, "Was that it, man? I mean, can I go now? Like, do you need me for anything more?
Well, I don't really command you, but
Raise any more ships up from the bottom?
I'm
man?
so appreciative of your help again.
Well, I mean, you're
We're
the one who
making-
helped me out, man.
And we're making the world right, so, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's why I'm happy to help whenever, dude."
High five.
Big flipper rises
It's like
slowly
a
up out of the
rainbow.
water. It casts a shadow over the entire Sea Devil's
It's
Curse.
like over the entire
It
world.
begins to lower slowly, and then it stops. And Gembu says, "Just kidding, man." Lowers it back.
Tidal wave.
And even as the flipper is slowly lowered back into the water, the Sea Devil's Curse is rocked with a wave. As,
Somewhere inside the shell, the whole giant civilization's like, "Whoa!"
Yep, Kamiko too. It's probably thrown against a wall.
With a storm, it's like, what's wrong, Great Turtle? Why are you doing this?
Daddy's turning a little green.
Yeah, well,
Alright, what now?
Okay.
Well, I guess
yeah.
we should probably sleep. I'll contact Cial and see if she can get us a door back into Sigil.
Mm-hmm.
Sigil?
Sigil. We'll have to restore the Johnny Kiss first.
Well, that's easy to do.
We don't have to do it right now, though. We
Well,
don't bring it with
we
us.
should,
Why?
because the portal is on the Johnny Kiss.
Well, we
Oh,
don't have to
unless-
go till tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Or she
So we
can
could
open
sleep
one
on the
somewhere else.
or on the Sea Devil's Curse, or we could sleep on the Drowning Kiss. Either way.
Yeah.
I don't like this boat.
Yeah. It's alive.
So
Okay.
we can go back to our ship and sleep, or I can teleport us anywhere.
Ooh.
So we can go back to Farendell if you want. Sleep it in your bed at home.
What about the
Not
the
all
reaches?
of us, but like you.
Right.
Or we could go back to the
There's
Reaches,
plenty of
or
housing and availability there, too.
we could go back to Redwater, or anywhere. We could go to-
Redwater sounds nice.
He went from,
I
he
mean, we haven't
went
been there in
from
a while.
Yeah.
green
So.
to pink really quickly.
Or we could go to Ravenmore and see Mandus before we leave.
Oh no, I like
Mandus
the idea of
isn't in
Redwater.
Ravenmore,
Yeah,
actually.
Redwater's fine.
What?
Mandus isn't in Ravenmore. You remember he
Oh,
set
that's
off
right.
on a journey
Yeah.
to find more silver
That's
dragons
right,
Yeah.
and
that's
left
right.
the orphanage in Ignatius's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Claus? He's dragonborn.
The claws. Ignatius?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Right. Wherever you guys want to go.
Redwater.
Redwater's fine.
Oh, okay.
We want to go to Redwater.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Chop chop.
Okay.
It is nothing.
Alright. Okay, then
Flustered spellcast.
I guess I'll cast. If we're done here, I'll cast teleport and my wild magic will go off.
Great. I can't remember. Does it trigger here or where you land?
I think
it's here, right?
here.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
And I'll have to use my 8th level spell slot to cast teleport.
You've worked hard today, Harmony.
I have. Okay. Wow. 23 or 25?
These are pretty close to each other.
I know.
She really raised some hell today.
Oh no.
Yes.
I think 23 is the one we gotta go with, huh?
Alright, find out which it is.
Any die? I'm gonna roll a d12 because I never get to roll a d12.
You can go to Redwater. I'm gonna stay over here.
It's even,
Okay.
which is hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Harmony's teleport occurs. Do you have anything that belongs to someone in Redwater?
Do
Oh,
I
do
have
you?
something from Eli? I know I've given him stuff, but has he ever given me anything?
Oh, remember that time
Uh-huh.
he gave you a lock of his hair? And you were snogging?
I mean, you were in Redwater for a long time. You
I
just tell me
assumed
if
that
you
I have
something
something.
from Redwater. Okay.
Yeah. I
Then,
probably would have purposely taken something if it was from like the inn or something even.
then there's no chance of a mishap on your teleport spell. You feel there's a flash of rainbow color that is familiar to you. You feel the pulling sensation under your navel that just lifts you up and out of your current location. You're spinning through all of the rainbow colors, and then suddenly you land on the ground again, and the pulling sensation under your navel vanishes. You turn to see Harmony, and Harmony, I mean, what do they see after your wild magic?
I am back to my normal size.
No way.
Oh.
5'7", the way it's meant to be.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
No. Wait, again, I like slowly put a hand over the head, around the head to see if it's like an illusion.
Ow!
So,
Ow!
like, if
What
they
are
actually
you-
bump into-
Stop! What are you
This
doing?
isn't some trick, is it?
What are you talking about?
Is her
Wait,
shadow
how
still
did,
weird?
Did you
then?
get shorter?
Will we notice it?
You want to look at her shadow?
Yeah.
The shadow, as it plays out across, where have you landed? In Redwater?
Oh,
The
if
middle
I
of
took
the
something
temple,
from the
the
inn,
inn.
then I'm in the inn, probably.
Okay. So you've landed in the...
In the middle of the
middle of
tavern.
the tavern.
Customers!
Yeah, and you do immediately hear the shrill voice of Hilda cry out, what was her husband's name?
Rick!
Yeah, Rick.
That's
We have
it.
customers!
Harmony's back! Start making food! As she like runs forward to grab onto you, and as she like grabs onto you, she like gives you like a little noogie on the head, and she's like, "Wait, hold on, you're taller than you were when you left."
Wait, am I?
Like, Rick, she grew! Get the ruler!
I don't know if this one's gonna stick, guys. This is weird.
Mara, as you look at Harmony's shadow as it splays out across the floor of the Riverstone Landing Inn, it is still in the form of a large pit fiend with big bat-like wings.
I know.
We're used to it.
I don't think I remember.
I think I know whose it is too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
'Cause you
lawyer.
can't-
Hunter's
There's
the
been
only
a couple
one who
lawyers.
knows who it is.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he's a nice guy.
Oh, it feels good to be tall again. Wait, how tall are you're still taller than me. How tall are you?
How tall am I?
Yeah, are you looking up or down
It'd be
now?
funny if I was still the shortest one.
No,
Yeah, you're
I'm pretty
5'10".
tall.
5'10", yeah.
I'm 6.
It's
Well, you
written
were
somewhere.
really tall when you were a Warforged.
I was really solid with Warforged.
I wouldn't
It's
make
on the
her
background page. It's on the page that looks like this.
tall. I'll print out all of them anymore. 5'9", you're taller. No, I'm taller. You're
5'7",
5'7".
you're still taller. So I'm still shorter than everyone.
But Bianca's like, yeah. He's like, but I'm the shortest one.
And Hilda says, "So Harmony, what can I get for you? How long are you staying?
The
Your
night.
friends, are they staying too?"
Yeah, can we have a couple, maybe, 4 rooms?
Of course. I mean, we have a few guests at the moment, not too many, but there should be enough rooms for 4 of you. Sure, no problem.
Great.
And she shouts back into the kitchens, "Rick, when you bring the food, bring 4 room keys!" And you just hear Rick mumbling and grumbling from the kitchen. But he then
Thank you, Rick!
emerges about 10 seconds later,
Here from the kitchen.
balancing trays of like soups and breads and cheeses and things like that, as well as dangling from like his fingers. He has 4 room keys, and he sets the plates down on the table. Goes to give Harmony a big hug, and as he does, Harmony shrinks.
I like jump up into his arms.
I knew
I
it.
told you it wasn't gonna stick.
I knew
It was really nice while it lasted.
What a shame.
Yeah. It was nice while it lasted.
It was the enlarge reduce effect.
Oh, that's
it.
good.
Okay.
I just like the imagery of me jumping into his arms and it's like
And yeah,
Tiny
and he
little
catches
legs
you in
again.
his like big, meaty arms and just kind of like swings you around a little bit. Well, Harmony, we've it's none of your favorites.
It's all my favorites.
It is your favorites?
All of it's my favorite. Everything you cook is my favorite.
That's great.
Can we have a bottle of wine too, please?
He kind of raises an eyebrow. We're just restocking after you cleared us out last time, so fine, just one.
Just one. I promise.
In celebration of your return.
Yay.
And then Hilda kind of like pulls you aside as Rick goes to get the wine bottle and whispers in your ear, "Does Eli know you're back?"
Well, we just kind of dropped in unexpectedly, so no.
Should I have someone go get him?
Yes. I
Sure.
tell her yes.
Rick!
Eli doesn't know.
Go get Eli!
Harmony's skin is pink naturally, but it's like 4 or 5 shades
It's
pinker.
like
right
flushed.
Yeah.
now. I'm really gonna need that wine.
After Rick finally brings back this bottle of wine, sets it on the table, he goes like puts on a nice warm winter coat that was like hanging by the door, some mittens and a hat, and goes to push open the door, and cold, snowy air blows in as he heads out to go find Eli.
What did I buy for him? What did I get from him from the boat?
It was a
It
brooch
was
with angel wings.
Angel wing brooch,
Mhm.
yeah. I remembered. I'm just trying to find where I wrote it down. There it is. While Rick is gone, I'll just sit at the table and start eating, and I'll fish out my ruby ascending, and I'll send a message to Cial.
Okay.
And say, "Hey Cial, we are ready to come back to Sigil to finalize our preparations. We're in Redwater right now and need a door. Please and thank you.
And do that and need.
And need."
Yeah.
She can figure it out.
CL responds, your message cut off, but I'm assuming you want passage back? Unfortunately, the portal will be in a different location when you return. I'll see what I can do to secure it.
Oh boy.
Sounds like we're gonna come out in a different place.
Good. I didn't like the last place we came through.
It might be
It
worse.
was-
Yeah, you didn't like Captain Pretty
I liked when he was like, "Yar, what are you talking about?" Like they were we're having like a mental conversation. That was the funniest thing. So good.
He pops it. What are you guys talking
Yeah,
about?
that CL would say would be, I found you captain for the ship.
Oh, she told us that already, though. Or they
Well,
told us that
they
already.
said they were going to go look for one.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
So that
They
should
found
be
a
ready
captain.
when you arrive.
Great. And
So
so
we'll just have to go
dependable.
pick up some papers and
Mm-hmm. Can be on our way.
So guys,
I pour wine for everybody.
oh thank you.
Take
Cheers to us,
to us.
demon killers and travelers of the different planes. I'm really not the one who should be talking.
Go us. So I think we should spend all of that money that's in the ship in Sigil before we depart, right?
Easy
Because-
come, easy go.
Did you sell your other giant belt?
No.
Did you get it appraised?
Yes.
How much was it worth compared to the new one that you want?
Not very much. I think it was within 10 or 12,000, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. I'd probably,
We'd have to
if
look.
you go back, I'd probably re-roll a fresh price because the market
Prices
for a
change.
magic item fluctuates.
Yeah, well, it was at that point.
He's always got an answer.
There's a high demand for magic items in
Yeah.
Sigil. It's true.
I think it was at that point between 7.5 and 12.5k.
For the one you have,
Mhm.
and how much is the one you want?
It was 125 like
Oh, but
yours.
it might be cheaper now.
Yeah.
There's a chance y'all may have found a buyer.
Well, I mean, it's worth asking.
Well, and it doesn't have, that's not available anymore, we can load up on a bunch of other stuff too, right? If they have things available. We should spend it because after a month's time, the ship's essentially gone.
Not
Right.
the ship, just the captain.
Yeah, but then he can't control it anymore, or no one can control it, so we might as well use the money while we can, is what I'm saying. Easily.
Before you left, Anton and the captain would have said, would have, since you put Anton in charge, they would have talked a little bit, and what they would have worked out is that the captain will try to get the ship to listen to Anton,
Okay.
but the ship is a living creature and it might not work.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, even still, I mean, this is a pretty dangerous journey anyway, so we should do everything we can to get,
That's kind of what our previous trip to the shop was for.
Mm-hmm. I feel ready. I feel prepared.
ready too. So
I-
it's just about you wanting the belt. We'll have a chance to talk to
Alright,
Sigil
we can
about
do
it
that
tomorrow.
But I don't think we need to do further
Do we
shopping.
still need
No, I think
paper
that
stuff?
having another
Yes.
visit
We
look
do.
while we have new funding.
I have keys.
Do you?
I knew about this.
I
helped
didn't.
you get them.
What kind of keys do you have?
Bunch of keys to the city.
Uh-huh.
I got them off of that.
Pothead. I think that's what they were called, right? The pothead guards or whatever?
I don't think they were
The
called
hard
potheads.
they weren't called potheads. No,
They were
pothead
no
means something
Harmonian
else.
soldier is a pothead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got them off that soldier when they were harassing that one hag. So.
Bucket helmet. Bucket head? Something like that?
The hardheads.
Hardheads.
Hard. Okay. I don't know.
Yo, dude.
I think you're thinking of Gembu.
Is that another term? Like, is buckethead an actual another term?
No.
No.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay, no worry
You're
about it. Okay, sorry.
You got keys, but I don't know if we want to risk stealing the paperwork, especially since we don't really know what it's supposed to look like. Right? We
It
might
may-
as well just get the official paperwork and then we don't have to worry about it.
It may not even activate unless they give it to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So keep
The-
them because that's a great thing to have. In
Well,
case.
of course I'm gonna keep them.
Just in case.
Harmony, duh.
The door to the tavern
I wrote.
flies open. A flurry of snow comes in, and running through the door, wearing a thick winter mantle, his blue skin a little bit purplish from the cold, is Eli. And he spots Harmony across the room and comes striding straight over, big smile on his face. And then he sees Thaddeus across the room, and he says, "Thaddeus! It's been so long since I've seen you." And he just comes over and like extends a hand.
Furious.
It's
Swirlies.
so good to see you, Eli, but I was just feeling a little bit tired and I was thinking of taking my meal up to my room.
Oh, okay.
Scoots away from Harmony.
I thought we could talk and catch up, but I guess another time.
Another time.
All right. And then he turns to Harmony and says, "Are you going to stay long? Are you already back from?" And then he
We're-
gets close and whispers, "Hell?"
Not yet. We're just about to set off
Oh.
Just
Thaddeus tries to catch the eye of the other two.
we
as he
just
goes
had
out.
one more night.
Visibly crestfallen.
Yeah.
Again.
We did
And
go to
then
Sigil and come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
That was
He kind of looks a little confused.
pretty incredible.
Yeah, I'm
Sigil?
pretty tired too. I think I'm gonna. It's very nice seeing you, Eli.
I know.
Come on, Bianca.
My whip hand is really tired.
But you didn't even. Okay.
So I guess the group of you retire after a little bit of a meal, a little bit of wine. As the three of you go off to your rooms, Eli takes a seat next to Harmony on your side of the table, and then whispers. He kind of points to Zant and Mara and says, "Are they?
You know,
Did you ever find out?"
I think so, but it's they're both really hard to read.
It'd be so cute though.
I know. You know what? I'll try to act as their Cupid while we're gone. You know, it worked for Thaddy and Dawn.
I mean, worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't talked to Thaddeus in so long. I don't know. I feel like I don't
Well-
know what's going on with him.
I know. Well, maybe you can talk to him in the morning before we set off.
That'd be nice. It's really sad that you're only here for one night.
I know. Oh, I got you something. I dig through
And
my
kind
bag.
of the purple blush comes back into his face. What'd you give me? What
Well,
is it?
we kind of took over like a giant pirate ship, and
Okay, as one does.
yeah, and there was like more treasure there than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Not
But
much. I know you've seen a fair deal of treasure in your travels.
I mean, like it was like
Swimmable.
it could fill this whole room.
And he kind of glances about the room and just. lets out a low whistle.
Anyway, and I pull out the little angel wing brooch and I hand it to him.
And like his eyes sparkle as he looks at it.
I was hoping to maybe have time to enchant it or something, which maybe I can do when I get back.
He says, no. This is fine. This is amazing, Harmony. And he holds it and he kind of like hurriedly undoes the clasp that is holding his winter cloak on right now, and quickly replaces it, and it just kind of shines in its position there. And he tries to look down at it, and he has to like pull his cloak out. No, this is incredible. I think. There's something about it. It makes me, and he kind of stutters over his words a little bit here, but he eventually lands on. It makes me think of my mom and my dad, my father.
Hopefully
I don't
not
know. It's just kind of
in a sad
nice.
way.
No, I don't know. I feel. As soon as I saw it, I felt close to it. You know, I don't know how else to explain it. It feels familiar in that way.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
I love
Actually,
it.
Thaddeus helped me pick it
Of course he did. Thaddeus has impeccable taste.
he really does. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd just kick you a big like gem or
I
something.
mean, that'd be great too. I don't have any gems.
Well, I mean, I have this too. I
What do you
kind
pull
of
out?
like I have 3 large gems worth 25 gold.
And he like looks at you and he pushes it back. It's like, no, I don't need that. But I'm sure you might. So
Maybe.
I have no use for gems. It's pretty.
I put them away.
And he kind of pulls out the brooch again to look at it some more.
Yeah, we're going on a big adventure, and I don't know how long we're gonna be gone, or
He's nodding. I know. It's
like
fine.
we're going off to war speech.
it really is, though. It really is. But I'll spend some time talking about how cool Sigil is.
Eli needs this.
Did Eli ever meet Sigil? I don't think he did.
Don't think
But I'm
the paths
sure
have
I
ever
would have
crossed, but
mentioned
yeah.
them
Mhm.
to him. So I'll talk about Sigil's shop and all the stuff we did. Stay up really late talking to him, basically.
Yeah, and he has a lot to talk to you about too, but it's definitely more mundane than the stuff that you're experiencing. It's things like things that he has learned about nature and how Melora influences it and guides it and things like just things that he's learning through his religious service since he's now leading this temple in Redwater. But mostly he spends his time listening to your stories and just like totally enraptured by them.
I definitely play up my role and everything.
I mean, he buys into it.
Just in a big trophies I got Eli.
I know. And then I hit him with hellfire and he just exploded.
I can't even imagine
Black
being
gold
about to
everywhere.
take the step that you guys are about to take as a group. But I can't think of anyone else in
It's
all of Elendil that would be capable of doing it. So
it's kind of scary for me because I mean I'm a little far removed from my tribe right now, but you know we're
do you tell him that your mother stayed behind in Sigil?
yes, but we're all of the stories that my mother ever told me while I was growing up about my people. We are not really in the good graces of the king of the hells. And I'm worried about going there, about what's going to happen to me.
Well, I mean, listen, I'd be worried too if you weren't in the hands that you're in. But I think if you rely on your friends, trust them to have your back, then you'll pull through. And if this King of the Hells, if he had the power to act on any kind of grudge against you and your tribe that maybe he may be holding, then I'm sure he would have by now, which means he's not as powerful as you think.
I hope you're right.
That's how I feel about it anyways.
There's something else I want to tell you before I go. I don't know what kind of magic that you're capable of or will be capable of, but my name isn't really Harmony. I mean, it is Harmony. It is Harmony. Harmony is the name I chose for myself.
You can see, like, as you're talking, his mouth is open as if he has a question, but he's waiting for you to finish, and, like, his eyes are wide. Go on.
Not actually Harmony.
I'm not actually Harmony. No, my name is Harmony. It's the name I chose for myself. We keep our true names very closely guarded because they have power. And I want to share my true name with you.
Oh.
It's a sign of trust and respect and other things. My name is...
Look, Harmony, and he like, puts his hand up real quick. It's fine. If it's something that important,
It's
then...
Yuxori. And I want you to call me that when it's just us. Please.
He kind of looks around the room, making sure no one is around. And,
It's like very late
yeah,
at this point.
Hilda and I can't remember. Oh, Rick have long since gone to bed. They basically just sort of left you the food to do what you want with it. And when he finally finishes looking around and making sure that no one is around, he says, "Okay, Yuxori, if that's what you would like for me to do, then that's what I will do. I will."
I have to tell the others now too.
They don't know?
I haven't told them yet. And I'm going to, before we leave, I wanted you to be the first one that knew.
He is fully purple at this point in time. And he sort of takes a second to compose himself and then says, "Well, I'm honored that you chose to tell me first.
You might.
That means a lot considering the things that you've been through with your friends. But I know that you can trust them.
I know.
If you can trust me, you can trust them with it."
I know. I kind of wanted to see if I could actually do it, you know, because that's a lot. That's a lot. Anyway, it's getting late.
Rest assured, it is a secret I will never convey to anyone under any circumstances. It's safe with me. and he then pulls you into a big hug.
I just sit with him for a while.
There's kind of like a fire going in the corner, and sort of as like the area away from the fire starts to get colder, he may like bring the two of you over there and like bring you under his winter cloak a bit to stay warm. Yeah. Morning comes. The group of you awake. Do they find like Harmony and Eli asleep by the fireplace?
Probably. Probably.
You come downstairs and Rick is in the kitchen quietly preparing food. And he just whispers to the group of you, I found them like that this morning and didn't have the heart to wake them up.
You did the right thing, Rick.
We'll be the bad guys.
I'll leave it to you. And he just kind of slides bowls of oatmeal across to you.
I just wanted to say that Dice did spend some, when he went back to his room, he spent 10 minutes casting Find Greater Seed out the window. So
Oh, okay.
we let Sparkle back. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna go downstairs and stand in front of the pair with my arms folded and cough really loudly.
Oh no.
Harmony, roll a perception check.
Oh boy.
Eli starts awake.
7.
Eli basically and like
Good morning!
sees you standing there. Harmony is kind of sleeping on his shoulder with like
I
drool.
think Yako would like curl up next to Harmony.
5 more minutes.
It's nice to see you're still with us.
Yeah, we just kind of fell asleep. I wonder if there's any way for me to. And he kind of like looks at Harmony's head on his shoulder to extricate myself without waking her up.
Why?
And
I nudge her.
he looks at you and says, my leg is actually asleep. I think I need to. And he just kind of slowly pushes Harmony onto Byakko, and then stands up and stretches.
Yako takes the responsibility.
Well, did the group of you sleep well?
I had an
Nice.
excellent night's sleep. This is a fun inn. I remember it.
Yeah. I spent a lot of nights here up late talking with Harmony when she stays. It's a great place. Hilda and Rick, they're incredible.
I feel like this isn't the first time that Rick's woken up to find us next to the fireplace
probably
like
not,
that.
so, yeah. Eventually, Harmony, something wakes you up and you find yourself on top of a very warm Byakko with a bowl of oatmeal in front of you, and the group of everyone else is kind of sitting at the table eating their breakfast meal.
I have to ask. What's going on? You guys. I've been seeing you guys kind of look kind of funny at each other. It's been killing me.
Are you looking at me funny again?
I thought you were the one that made funny faces. I wasn't able to make faces for so long, so maybe. Is it Warforged? Yeah, okay.
Can I insight check them?
It's up to them.
Is there something to insight? I don't know.
I mean, if an insight check won't do anything for her, you can say no.
What did you
If
get?
you want to give her a chance to roll an insight check to learn something, that's okay.
It doesn't depend on what I got.
I don't know.
Got a 15.
It's hard to say because I don't know both answers.
Me either.
Yeah, I only know what I submitted.
So I think what happens is...
Can I inside check Zach?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, roll your dice.
I think then, Harmony, you struggle to like read the tension between them, and it's just indeterminate. And neither of them budges on an answer. They just kind of like shrug at each other.
So what I'm getting is it hasn't happened, but it's about to happen any minute now.
It's a good sparring partner, Harmony. Leave it at that.
Oh, is
I
that what
haven't
they're
even
calling
had
it these days?
You
Coffee
did spend
yet.
a good week whipping each other.
That had to be a certain area of.
I don't like this dude.
Ah, the sweet, sweet revenge.
There's lots of rat poop.
Poor. That's right.
Yep.
Speaking
Good job,
of, where is Pinky? Pinky
Pinky's-
plus.
Pinky Plus would be about. Probably would have stayed in the room with you, Mara.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
I
what
kind of
we
picture when you go
Where we put
around
'em-
that you just have like a parrot on one shoulder and a couple of rats like at your left.
Wow.
did. A whole menagerie.
Well, I
Okay.
guess we're kind of.
Pinky
We-
Plus is probably sitting at the table
Plus.
with you eating oatmeal. It's like the rats rotating position while the
I
other
can only
rats
imagine
feed
Eli's reaction to that.
them. He seems
Or-
weirder.
Or Hilda
Rick.
and Rick's.
Yeah,
That's
Rick.
true. Rats.
They've
It's
they've
an
all lived with
infestation.
harmony for 5 years.
true.
This
They've
is
seen
true.
weirder.
That's true.
This is very true.
Wild magic does that to me.
So I don't need to use this to talk to Cial because Cial's going to contact us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wanna call Dawn?
Dawn knows what we're doing. I'm fine.
We can always jump to
Here, I'll call Mara.
we can always jump to Ferndale once before we go to Sigil.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
I know, and that's. I'm happy with the way I think left things with Dawn. I don't need to see her again before we go.
But you picked out a gift for her.
That gift is from when I return.
Aww. Do you want me to enchant it for you?
It's already enchanted.
Is it? I can't
Mhm.
remember.
It has a minor enchantment.
Never mind.
Also, even if it wasn't, the answer is no.
You love the scarf I made you though.
That just pulls it off.
Tucks it away.
Yeah, as the conversation kind of winds down, people stop their eating. Eli kind of looks to the group of you and says, "So this is it then until you're back, champions, conquerors of the Nine Hells."
Oh, stop.
I don't think that there'll be that much conquering to be done. We've gone to some effort to make sure that we don't get into much trouble while we're there.
Well, we are taking out the leader of I always get Malbolg
A
and
former leader
Malagard
of Malbolg.
mixed up. What's it known as now?
Malbolg.
Malbolg. The former leader of Malbolg. We're taking out. So, kind of half conquering ish.
And one other agenda item.
Several
Multiple.
others, actually.
Well, we have
Multiple.
Eli then
2,
stands
3,
up and says,
4.
5.
5?
"Well, I for one have utter confidence in all of you. I have things I need to attend to. I'm sure you need to get going. And Harmony has something to tell you. Bye." And he basically gives you a cheeky look, a wink, and walks out the door.
So, bye?
Bye.
Yep.
Question mark? Harmony?
Sit down at the table and I look around to make sure that we're kind of.
Yeah, Hilda and Rick have gone off to do something.
There's like no
else.
other
They're taking care of.
customers.
They're
right
like
now.
cleaning up the rooms that you slept in last night, I think.
So, why is this so much harder in the light of day? I,
Insight check.
for what?
You're doing it to me.
So in my tribe, we have a custom of guarding names. It's to protect us because names have power. And since we're going into the Nine Hells,
Wait. Sorry. I just feel like I can see where this is going. Are you sure? There are things that can pull information out of a man's mind.
well, this is why I haven't really shared it with anyone before, but because they do have power, it might be best if you did know
Fair.
my true name.
Okay.
Let me guess. Gardenia.
I'm not a pixie.
Good guess, though.
She looks like one. Look at her.
KSL.
That sounds more like a chosen name than a given one. Anyway,
I'm gonna say fireball in, what's it called? Infernal. Whatever the word is.
Fireball in
Infernal.
in
Yeah, whatever that is in Infernal, I guess that.
Close.
Oh, okay.
My aunt's named that actually.
Getting there.
My name is Yuxori Inalis Kulos. It's
Wait,
something
that whole thing.
okay, that whole thing. Yuxori is my first name. Inalis is my middle name. Kulos is my family name.
Oh.
I'm gonna need you to write that one down.
Well, I mean, I think if you remember Yuxori, it might be enough. Or you don't have to remember it because, like Fatty said, you could have information squeezed out of you. And hopefully nobody really cares about my true name. I mean, maybe Mother Midnight will, but it might be better that you know it. Just in case.
All of you right now, except for Harmony, roll an Arcana check.
Oh boy. Ethan's been waiting for me to dump this truth bomb on you. I'm really curious to see
9.
what's gonna happen now.
11.
Do you have a -1?
I got a 13.
13. Something begins to connect in the back of your brain, Zant. Something about what has been discussed now, like, nags at you a little bit,
Okay.
but you can't really put a finger on it.
Huh. Yeah, why does that sound so familiar or something?
It's not a sense of familiarity. It's as if, like, there's a half-formed idea,
Okay.
you know, but you can't complete it.
Can I stew on that for a while?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
stew on it for a while. Basically, I guess if during like a long rest or something like that, you wanted to
Sure.
like think about it some more, you can
Yeah.
make another check then. But there's something to this discussion that kind of nags at the back of your brain.
Okay.
A little bit.
Alright.
Anyway, it's in my tribe. It's a sign of trust and respect, and I just, you know, after seeing my mother again, she kind of scolded me for not sharing it with you already, since it was, I mean, it's very clear that I do trust and respect each of you. Yes, even you, Fatty.
I wasn't going to say it.
And, well, now you know, and I have no more secrets.
Insight check.
That is a lie.
Can I?
You believe me?
That's 5.
I got a 17.
I definitely have more secrets.
So I just. Mhm.
Meanwhile, Thaddeus is just like looking very impressed and touched.
But I definitely have more secrets, but you sense that this is like, I don't have any like big bombshell secrets.
Okay.
That's what I meant by that.
So I just like raised my eyebrow.
So like obviously there's still stuff that I'm not telling you, but it's not important.
Sure, Harmony.
So the group of you gather your things, tie up this discussion, head out of the inn, and then
Well, we're kind of waiting for
waiting for a message from
a
Cial.
message from Cial because we told them that we're in Redwater.
Within probably while you're eating breakfast, you would have gotten this message then. Cial's voice, there's the familiar ping, and Cial's voice drifts into your head, Harmony, and they say, Harmony, unfortunately, the portal's pattern has been stricken from the records, and I can't detect where it will be right now. Unfortunately, you're going to be on your own. However, once you emerge from wherever the portal drops you, find a way to my shop.
We still have the key, right?
Yeah,
Like
the
shell or
mermaid
whatever.
scale.
Does that mean we're supposed to go through the drowning kiss,
Yeah.
but we just don't know where we'll end up? Okay. I didn't know if she had to, if that was closed and we had to reopen a new portal somewhere else.
You have the key, so it should work,
Oh, okay.
which is that mermaid scale.
Well, we just need to resize the drowning kiss and. Actually, how is this gonna work?
Well, I can teleport us to anywhere that
Body
is
of
on the
water.
water.
We need the drowning kiss.
That's why I was thinking we should take the engine.
But we can't go
But-
from Sigil to the River Styx. We'll have to come back to the drowning kiss
Oh, okay.
to travel to
Okay.
the
So
Styx.
travel through the drowning kiss to Sigil, then back.
Gotcha.
And then
But how do we get to the river Styx?
Well,
Plane shifts.
plane shift, yeah.
That would be with the engine.
or some way.
So we
Or
didn't.
Harmony,
or Harmony.
I can
Harmony
plane
shrinks
shift us.
the boat, puts it in her bag, and,
And then
plane
we can
shifts
plane.
the group.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can cast wish to cast
Yeah.
plane shift.
Okay.
But for now, you just need to leave the boat somewhere.
So where do you want to dock the boat?
This is a
water.
Redwater doesn't have a.
It has body water.
Redwater is basically a floating city on top of a river.
Is the boat? Will the boat dock in the river?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's not a very big boat.
okay.
Yeah,
Then
you could
let's
dock
just
the
dock
boat
it here.
Yeah.
So go to the river.
All right. You resize the Drowning Kiss in the orangish waters that flow through the Redwater River. Board the ship, go through the kitchen, hold the scale near the cupboard in the kitchen area, which then begins to sort of emit a slight bluish glow. And one by one, you crawl through it. And as the group of you crawl through it, you emerge into basically when you emerge from the thing, you are immediately blinded as you drop a short ways into basically some shallow, filthy, foul-smelling water. You drop maybe 15 feet into it, and it comes up to about your knees, so you kind of land in it a little bit hard with a bit of a splash. And the source of your blindness is a series of powerful lights that have basically surrounded the opening of the exposed pipe that the group of you have just emerged from into this subterranean sewer location. And as you sort of get your bearings and stare into these bright lights that are preventing you from seeing anything beyond the ring of them, you hear a voice, and it just says, "Well, well, well, it's about time the group of you arrived. I'm Barbara Smith of the Bureau of Interplanar Risk Analysis, Asset Recovery Division, and we've been waiting for you."
Question.
Uh-huh.
Would I know if teleport works within Sigil to other places in Sigil?
We'll find out next week.
Damn it!
From red water to sewer water.
And that's where we're going to end
Well, I'd say
tonight's
we're in
episode.
deep dew, but it's shallow.
So thank you to those of you who tuned in. Thank you guys for playing. I think that was a really fun episode
Yeah.
to
Yeah, it
get
was
back
fun.
into it. Schedule will be bumpy due to the fact that it's December, but
I think bumpy for us, but I think we still have an episode a week until like Christmas, right?
yeah,
Maybe.
actually I think so. So
I mean,
Um,
we're recording on weird dates, but we're still going to be able to release the episodes regularly.
we should have a couple more episodes before the end of the year. So we hope you come back for those. Should be really exciting as we are about to take the final plunge into the hells themselves. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Me too!
I'm really excited. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.